I'd like to tell you about the transactional theory, and that is the theory that was thought of by Louise Rosenblatt. Um, and Dr. Rosenblatt wrote this theory way back in 1938 um, for the first time, and then she's written about it several times over the last several years. And the transactional theory is also called the reader response theory. And that, if you think about reader response theory, then that might help you remember what this theory is all about, because it is the reader's response, how the reader responds to what he or she has read. Now, Louise Rosenblatt said that there were two ways that a reader can respond to what he's read, and that would be the aesthetic response, which is an emotional response, or the efferent response, which is a cognitive or intellectual response. Both of them are like personal reaction to what you read. So, for example, you can think of it this way. Have you ever read a newspaper article that really made you mad? Well, you were having an aesthetic response to the article. Um, or maybe you've read a textbook chapter, maybe even the one you're reading for this class, and you said, oh, okay, yeah, I need to write that information down. And that was an intellectual or efferent response. And so Louise Rosenblatt said that teachers need to give students opportunities to respond to what they're reading in both ways, both aesthetically and efferently, and make those personal connections to what they've read. Now, keep in mind that this theory, refers to the reader, but also Rosenblatt wrote about the writer and said that writers take stances and they write with an intention or purpose in mind. And some writers might write with an aesthetic purpose, in other words, for the purpose of enjoyment. And some writers might write with an efferent purpose, so that with the purpose of providing information to the reader. And it's the reader's job really to figure out what the author's stance is. So you can have a personal reaction to what you've read, but in order to truly understand it, you have to have both that personal reaction and the ability to determine the author's purpose for writing that piece of text. So that's the transactional theory, which is also called the reader response theory.